So on April 10th, 2020, small YouTuber and political streamer Xanderhal had dealt with a brigade of people
calling me moron, saying having a different opinion doesn't make you a Nazi.
Now, this horrible and awful harassment, Xan alleges, is coming at the behest of Taps, a transgender Twitter user that Xanderhal has previously interacted with, and according to Xanderhal,
who is an actual Nazi.
His clear-cut evidence involves things like giving nuanced political takes, saying that both people on the left and right have good and bad points, the fact that she makes edgy, self-deprecating jokes.
This is them, their deaf T-slur. In the server with Sand N-word terrorist. They're in the 41% channel. By the way, the 41% thing references the suicide attempting rate for trans people.
Believes that some trans people are transgenders, aka people that are trans as a means of gaining social attention or clout, and making guilt by association claims, saying that some of the people that Taps retweets are obvious Nazis. Clearly, we are looking at the poster child for the Third Reich in this profile picture. Ironically, this was all in a segment where Xanderhal asserts that many people adopted conservative mindsets or moved to the right due to the hysterical nature of the archetypal blue-haired SJWs, turning them off from anything even remotely resembling progressive politics. Unironically, I would have to agree with him on this one. I think that a lot of people have a very negative first impression with a lot of people that espouse progressive politics, given the fact that most of them are gonna be people with Twitter bios that have their pronouns in them and are going to act like hysterical retards. However, I would also point out that one of these behaviors is the tendency to take a look at anybody that even mildly criticizes you and then just say that they're a Nazi. But hey, Xanderhal is completely free to tilt at all the windmills that he wants and look like a weirdo doing it, I guess. So what led to this entire weird, spurgy arc? Well, sit back and relax as I give you the TLDR of what happened and my take on it, because it is exceptional. So this entire saga started on April 7th when Twitter user @jchon posted this tweet. I don't know who Xanderhal is, and at this point, I'm afraid to ask. As a bit of context of why she might be asking this question, Xanderhal has been interacting more and more with the commentary community on YouTube. In his words, to
infiltrate the YouTube drama community. When there is YouTube drama happening, like non-political YouTube drama happening, I'm going to worm my way into that shit.
Though given his reaction when high-profile YouTubers follow him on Twitter, I think it's more likely that he's just using this as an excuse to network and clout chase.
That is good. This is a win. I will do everything in my power when I am large enough to try to get him on my channel for a talk. That would be a big win. That would be a big win.
In this crusade to infiltrate the commentary community, he had gone on several episodes of AugieRFC's podcast After Hours. And well, suffice to say, he didn't make a particularly good impression with Augie's audience. So about a day later, Twitter user Verum0 uploaded a clearly faked screenshot that showed Xanderhal using a racial slur. The intent of the screenshot was clearly to poke fun at Xanderhal. I'd even wager that this wasn't originally intended to mess with Xanderhal, it was most likely just a shitpost on a edgy Discord, given that Xanderhal had kind of became a meme within Augie's audience. It is important to note that this screenshot did not tag or was a reply to any of Xanderhal's tweets. This was completely in an isolated tweet thread. Now Xanderhal, and his infinite narcissism, thought that this was part of an ongoing campaign of other people that don't like him for completely different reasons. Go fucking figure. He claims that the screenshots were an attempt to paint him as a racist, smugly proclaiming that there was no such evidence of him saying the N-word. Yeah, about that.
We say the N-word on your stream.
Nigga, yeah. Never with the hard ER, though. Why not? Why didn't you like the dupe, nigga? Alright, 3 cobble and a blaze rod makes one of those bitch-ass nigga things. Go running in a minute, you nigga. Broke-ass nigga, broke-ass nigga, broke-ass nigga. Kinda gear this nigga got. But she ain't fucking with no broke nigga.
9 watching, nigga.
Nigga. My guy. Big mass nigga. This nigga was baiting. Oh shit! My nigga the Ice King!
Oh,
and there's even these big fat niggas!
Alright, my nigga. Let's go.
There,
I
that's all
already
I'm
got
gonna say.
loot, nigga. Where them gel sacks at, my nigga? My girlfriend is white, I'm allowed to say it.
Now, I do want to give a little bit of my take on this whole subject. I don't think that saying the N-word is proof or evidence of racism. I think that it's only when you start, like, directing it to people that it would apply as a racial slur that it gets into, like, actual racist territory. So just based on this clip, I don't think that this is evidence that Xanderhal is a racist. Imagine taking out of context clips like that and then using it to smear people as a racist. What a fucking asshole that would make me, right? Anyway, back on topic. Xanderhal took this totally personal and totally coordinated attack on Twitter very, very seriously, calling on his viewers in a now deleted tweet, telling them to go and mass report anyone that was sharing these fake screenshots, claiming that these screenshots were in violation of terms of service. However, looking at Twitter's policies on the subject, it doesn't seem to actually be in any violation. Hate speech guidelines only apply when directed to people in marginalized groups. And impersonation only really applies if the Twitter account itself is claiming to be somebody else. However, directing flagging mobs is against the Twitter terms of service. Not to mention the fact that this is actually Xanderhal's 4th Twitter account and he is currently engaging in ban evasion. I also want to make it 100% clear to anybody who is watching this that I do not support flagging people. I do not think that you should bother or flag Xanderhal for engaging in these behaviors. I just want to point out that aside from being extremely thin-skinned, he's also a massive hypocrite. But if he wants to be the Boulder King, that's 100% his business. I just firmly think that deplatforming and calling on people to flag people is and will always be the realm of losers. So let's all be like the Fonz and let's be cool. However, he wasn't just content to organizing a false flagging campaign on Twitter. He later took onto a live stream and bemoaned the Nazis that are harassing him. This is where Taps comes into play. So Taps is a regular in Augie's chats and audience and is a pretty out and open transgendered woman. Trans flag in the bios, all of her avatars and social media, pronouns in the bio, that sort of stuff. Just, you know, not an insufferable cunt about it. So when Xander brings up her profile bio,
is that some of them have also are also Nazi psyops?
It's a reasonable inference for anyone with an above 98 IQ that maybe she might be mad that her gender identity is being called a psyop. But in fairness to Xanderhal, Taps did lightly criticize him, and that's pretty much analogous to goose-stepping in our modern times. However, the Streisand effect took its course, and almost immediately more and more people began to notice his behavior and call him out for it. My timeline for that day was pretty much inundated with everybody going on about how they were blocked by Xanderhal, even Augie when he actually thought that that was a fake Augie account.
He did block me, which I took as him saying fuck you, but apparently he blocked me because he thought my Twitter account was he thought this was like a fan account.
Oddly, he rectified it when it was a person that has a high sub count.
Really makes you think.
Again, I have to point out that this entire saga spawned from a clip where he had gone over how the bad optics of some people on the left had led to a bad first impression and had driven people to the right. However, he does this and then in the same breath does the ubiquitous meme of everybody that I disagree with online is literally Hitler. Though in fairness, self-awareness is not a trait known in lolcows. I think that this entire mess can be summed up in what Twitter user Flamenco's little kitten. Damn it, honey. Said.
Bruh, Xanderhal, did you just literally call a trans teenager a Nazi spy just because she likes edgy humor and is right wing? I think you literally just became the actual stereotype of what a left winger is. Laughing my fucking ass off. Congratulations, you played yourself.
This Twitter post, by the way, was made before the disastrous live stream. Hani must have psychic powers or something. The other really notable thing about the stream that a lot of people paid attention to was this segment.
Anyone mind banning Xander Hates Women? Also, good job, Xander Hates Women. I actually have your IP address now, because you made an account on my website. Good one, Sherlock. And? Easy address, homie.
Now, I want to take a little aside to give you guys a little bit of an OPSEC lesson. An IP address really only gives people information about your ISP, not your physical address. So if some twat is going on that claiming that your IP address is an easy address, homie, they're either lying or they're just dumb enough to think that they actually have your docs. So while Xanderhal didn't actually have the person's docs, I think that the intent of the threat is a little bit more important than the veracity of it at this point. That intent being that of intimidation. And as Jeff Holodox succinctly put it,
intentionally revealing somebody's name who didn't want it is an intimidation tactic, and if you do it, you're a cunt.
It's also worth pointing out that this sort of cunt-like behavior isn't entirely new for Slanderhal, and that he's been doing this sort of stuff for years.
Well, I would have to press this button is to fucking dox you, buddy. Is just press this fucking button. As a matter of fact, God, if it wasn't bannable, I would show your fucking IP on stream.
Now, it would be very dishonest for me to talk about this subject without laying out my full involvement with Slanderhal on the table for transparency's sake. So I want to give you guys a full and complete account of what he's going on about when he says this.
Here, apparently they're friends with Flamenco, who's like a dude that's been stalking me since the beginning of my political career online. Like, you can go on Kiwi Farms and look up Flamenco. The dude's like literally daily talking about me, and like he is still friends with and helping out people that are trying to dox me.
I first encountered him about 2 years ago when we both appeared on an episode of Unknown Otaku's podcast to debate and discuss the recent E:R controversy. We had a bit of an adversarial back and forth, but it was mostly cordial, and I had suggested that we have a debate as we both livestream, and I thought it would be good content for the both of us. When I asked him about this, he agreed to it. I'm not ashamed to admit this. I'm a person that thrives on conflict. I like to go at it with people. I like to, jab and juke and all that stuff. And I was really excited for this. Unfortunately, he later decided to cancel this agreement. I had hopped onto an alternate account and demanded an explanation, to which he blocked me, and I will admit, I made several throwaway Discord accounts and proceeded to repeat my request that he hold up to his side of the agreement. I will also admit I engaged in some light trolling and mocking, and that it was admittedly childish. I don't really do this sort of thing anymore. It's just not a good look. I also follow some of his more humorous exploits as well as documenting them on a notorious gossip website. And that's pretty much the extent of my interactions with him for this last year, with the occasion of covering some really dumb takes that he has or laughing at him trying to do some live streams in Fortnite. I can safely say this. I do not particularly like Slanderhal. I think that he's an obnoxious Dunning-Kruger that doesn't really have much of a personality. I'll also say that he is a very malicious person, and I don't like the way that he has interacted with people and has gone after people. That being said, I want to clear up and address some of the very dishonest things that Slanderhal has said about me. Now, as we've seen in this video, Slanderhal is very quick to engage in dismissive behavior when met with even mild criticisms, smearing people and slurring them, with very little provocation or really any sort of logic. I am a content creator. I do sometimes political and sometimes sort of meta mocking of eccentric individuals on the internet. And I think that he's a pretty good example of low-hanging fruit. I wouldn't say Slanderhal is obsessed with the quartering, despite making multiple videos on him, so I don't really think that covering somebody who's interesting and drives views is really obsessive behavior. I would also say that chronicling little dramas that he gets into isn't really stalking behavior when it's all on his publicly available social media accounts. I don't get that one either, honestly. And this last one is something that I really want to clear up because I think it is the most egregious of all his slanders against me. I have not now, nor have I ever, engaged in doxing of any person on the internet. Multiple people that he has made this claim to have followed this up with requests for proof that I have actually engaged in trying to dox him. Nicholas Diorio and Augie are two examples of this, and they have yet to receive any evidence from him despite repeated requests for it. In fact, in this video, I've laid out more evidence that he himself has engaged in doxing or intimidation tactics than I ever have. In conclusion, I think that this entire drama was the result of Xanderhal being extremely thin-skinned and immature about this entire subject. I think that his later damage control that he wasn't trying to insinuate that Taps was only transgendered as a Nazi psyop is complete and utter bullshit, and he owes her a full and complete apology for this. He also engages in the stereotypical scumbag tactics of people who can't take criticism online, organizing flag campaigns of those who even mildly mock him or calling people that he doesn't like various smears and various slurs online. I also want to warn people that are even thinking about engaging with him that he is a very malicious and very petty person, so I would urge you guys to not even interact with him at all. I get the urge to report people that are actively breaking the rules and then in the same breath calling for people to be banned for breaking those rules, but I think that even in those justifiable circumstances, stooping to his level only makes you as much of a fucking loser as he is. I think that this interaction is going to have repercussions for his long-term goals of infiltrating the commentary community. Nobody really wants to collab with somebody that's going to openly attack people in their community over light mocking, so good luck with that, I guess, champ. All in all, I think that Xanderhal really earned his moniker of Slanderhal during this entire saga. And if Xander is watching this, which I highly doubt, but if you are willing to take genuine criticism, this is what I would tell you. You really need to grow a thicker skin. The Streisand effect is going to take effect any time that you have this sort of reaction to even mild mocking. It's only going to drive it more. Again, you really need to apologize to Taps. You are kind of a massive jerk. And lastly, I would say try to build some sort of personality outside of just aping mannerisms that you see from Vosh or Destiny. It's just kind of fucking pathetic. I also give you an open invitation to contest anything that I laid out in this video. This also applies to any of Xanderhal's fans that actually managed to make it to the end of the video. Critics get first priority in the queue to come on stream and criticize me. I welcome it, and just DM me and we'll set it up. Let's just say, though, I'm not going to be holding my breath on this. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Doing the Vinny stuff has been kind of fun, but I think that's over. So if you subscribe to that, I apologize that we're probably not going to get any more Vinny news unless there's like court stuff. But thank you guys for subscribing, and hopefully this is content that you guys liked. I was really floored by like how well the Vinny video did, and I'm tempering my expectations for how well this one will do. But if it even receives like 5% of the attention as the Vinny video, I'm going to be very, very happy and pleased with my efforts. Just tell me guys what you guys think. My comment section is always welcome to people who have criticisms of me, so just be as brutally honest as you can. If you like the video, like it. If you really like what you've seen so far, maybe consider subscribing. And if you guys want to support this, just, I don't know. I've got a Patreon if you guys want to cover that. But I stream every day, Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you guys want to hang out and join us for some fun and vidya, definitely make sure that you tune in for that. I also do a stream on Saturdays called the Pseudo Intellectual Saturday stream, where I cover people like Xanderhal. It's a lot of fun. We all have a good time laughing at Dunning-Krugers, so make sure that you guys join us for that. But yeah, that's about all. Thank you guys for all your support. Have a nice day. Stay beautiful, everybody. Mwah.